Alright, well, welcome to Shane's Main Shop. If you have worms that you use for composting, occasionally they need new bedding, and one way to do that is to use egg cartons. It's a good recyclable material. There's very little ink in it, and you can just tear pieces off and throw it in there, and I've done that before, but they just seem to kind of get wet and kind of get a little bit of mold. So it's best, I found, that if you chop them all up into like a more of like a sawdust or a paper dust with a blender, and then add moisture to it, it makes a far superior bedding. So the worm farm, let's go ahead, and I think I'm going to try it like this. I think that works good. So I'm going to take and just rip this down, basically take the top off and use it as a plunger to push that down. So as you can see, that's a far superior way of doing it. Of course, you want to be careful. You don't want to put your fingers down in there. That would not be good. So pull that out, dump that, put that piece back in, and then we'll use the bottom half to push the rest of that. You might end up with a little piece left over because I'm not going to push it all the way down to my finger. It's ground up, but that's okay. As far as I'm going to go, and that leaves me quite a little piece left over, which is fine. We can throw that into, or just save it for next time when you start to grind up more. Alright, let me see if I can get this in a bowl so you can kind of see what we came up with. So I got a pretty good sized pan. You can see my hand, kind of get an idea of the size. And I'll go ahead and get all this scooped up into it. That's what we came up with. And we have this piece left over. We'll just go ahead and throw that in too. Get rid of it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some water to this. You don't want this dry because they will die. They have to have moisture to go through. Let's see if that's enough. We mix that up. Sometimes you really gotta get it in there because the water settles to the bottom. It doesn't, it's like a spongy. It's got kind of a muddy consistency, and that's kind of what you want. This is actually a little bit too wet, but like I said, I haven't added water in a while. Alright, let's take a look here. Now, if you don't see any worms in the cover, which I don't, that means they're probably pretty happy, because if they're trying to escape, something's wrong inside the worm farm. You can see I got that layer of paper on there that's really kind of breaking down now. I'm going to bring the camera right down there close. It'll shake a little bit, but at least you can get a closer look. I'll go ahead and pull this back. And there we go. Got some worms in there. A little apple. No apple. Basically, there is no apple left to it. The inside of it is nothing but worms. Look at that. Just one big mass of worms right here. I got one here. Let me see if I can crack this one open, see what happens. Look at that. Basically, they're eating the inside of that apple right out. That's one big clump of worms. They like rotted apples. Not much left of that piece of celery right there. Alright, well I got this open right here. I'm actually going to add some of this bedding right to this side. I got a corn cob over here too. They've been working on now for a few months. Not much left. I'm just going to spread this out over here. Let's see if I can get that back a little bit. And I'll fold this back this way. Bring it over here. You can see this is part of a piece of lettuce here. Not too many worms on this side because the last time I fed them on the other side. So I'll probably feed them on this. Actually, I'll probably get some food right now. Now this is a much larger piece of food than I would normally put in. We're going to go ahead and see what happens. But I always put the food in a new section so they can escape it if they want. This is what's left of a cantaloupe, I think. Now, I'm taking, break it up here a little bit, spread it out. I've never given them cantaloupe before. Flip it upside down here. Basically, you get it down in there like that, away from where the bulk of the worms were. So if they don't like this food and there's a problem, I can get this out and not lose my worms. I'll go ahead and scrape the rest of this stuff. Egg cartons on top of it. You want to cover the food for sure so you don't get smell. You want it to break down underneath. So we'll cover that like that. This has been in the refrigerator, so it's gonna be a little cold. It'll take a day or so before they probably get into it. I'm gonna leave this paper on this side like this. Let's see, hopefully we're in view. And then I just went wet some new newspaper that I'm gonna seal this off with on this side. So you want to seal that right up like that. That helps keep down any bugs that get in there too. That's really all there is to it. We're going to go ahead and put the cover back on this, and I will check this often now, like every day, until I see if they're eating that. And once they do, then this thing can stay closed for a week or two without any problems. Anyways, thanks for swinging by Shane's main shop. There'll be a couple videos. There'll be one right here you can choose from, one over here, and don't forget to click on the channel icon down here in the corner to subscribe to my channel. I do have a couple other videos about the worm farm, and maybe I'll make sure that's at least one of them over here that you can watch. Thanks for swinging by Shane's main shop. Please like, subscribe, comment, come back often for more videos, and as always, have a great day.